Hello, my name is Hope Graham, and I want to go to the Franciscan University of Steubenville.
Weston! Sorry, that was my little brother Weston. I am the one who would love to attend Franciscan University, and my name is Hope, which actually I thought could be a good place for us to start. Now, I apologize, this is a bit heavy, but I was named in the wake of 9/11. Back then, my parents thought the world could use some hope. Therefore, I view my name as a calling, and I try to spread some light wherever I go by pointing people towards the one who's the source of all of it. Now, do I ever fall short? Only 50 times a day. But thankfully, our God is one whose grace shines through our cracks and continually fulfills us so that we can overflow into the lives of those around us. Now, I wanted to share that first because it's the principle behind everything that I do, from taking silly yearbook pictures to brighten someone's day, to leading the Bible study club at my school, and everything in between. Alright, so I'm going to share with you now about some of those things I like to do, but it's going to be real quick because I keep running out of time, so let's get into it. So first, I've played soccer for practically my entire life, but throughout all of it, my favorite memory was getting this Players Award for my teammates. This reminded me the value of being part of a team, whether on a smaller scale, like a sports team or a family, or on a more macroscopic scale, like a country or the church. I also love to try new things though. Like in high school, I ran track, tried lacrosse, and surprisingly fell in love with Frisbee. And the same goes for taking different electives. Which reminds me, ever since I've been little, I've loved to create things, like this children's book I made for my childhood class, which I'm pretty proud of. Or this flip book I made of me and my little brother's secret handshake. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Like I mentioned earlier, that was my little brother Weston, and he is just my best friend in the entire world. I love him more than I thought possible. Also, I love to read. Here are some of my favorite books. Another thing, for the past few Christmases, I've been able to sponsor this little girl from Ghana named Brilliant, and it has been such a blessing to write to and pray for one another, and one of my big dreams is to go to Ghana someday to visit her. Finally, I treasure all the time that I get to spend with family, from my grandpop to my new baby cousin Rowan, and with friends. I love my friends so much. Among them, I have a deep passion for those on the outskirts, and while this has led my heart to some darker places, I've also been blessed to see God's light shine amidst those same places. I have a variety of friends, though, all of whom I care for deeply, and interestingly enough, I'm also learning French, et bien qu'il soit mon sujet le plus difficile, je suivis toutes les classes pour que je puisse communiquer avec plus de monde. Peut-être pour du travail missionnaire, qui sait, sauf Dieu. What inspired me to do all of this, though, and has truly made me who I am, actually started 18 years ago at a place very close to my heart. So what do you say we take a little trip and I'll show you where it all started? Come on, let's go. So this is MPC, this is where I grew up going to church. In a lot of ways, I really consider this my childhood home. This is where I took my first steps in faith, and I was blessed to have an abundance of people willing to guide me through that. They taught me the value of service, from mission trips to running Christmas parties for the less fortunate, and a bunch of other opportunities. They taught me the value of Christian fellowship, as they showed me God's grace week in and week out, and they taught me what the gospel means. I could not be more grateful for my experiences here, and one person who had a special impact on me was my youth group leader, John Chafee, who taught me how to question and investigate why I believe what I believe. This laid the foundation so that I could take my next big step in faith, which, unexpectedly for me, was researching Catholicism. This led me right across the street, actually. So this is Nativity BVM Parish, and this is where I've been going to RCIA or Adoration or Mass recently. And each week when I come, part of me is heartbroken because I look across the street and I know I'm not with my beloved family at MPC anymore. However, I try to remind myself that God was leading me there, and He's leading me in the steps I take here. And that's why I think Franciscan would be such a good fit, because I think since you guys are such a passionate, evangelical, Christ-centered, mission-oriented school, I feel like I could take these two halves of my life and pursue there both parts that God has laid on my heart.